Good evening. I'm Melissa Choi, and this is my co-anchor, Sherry Talnoff, and we're here to bring you our exciting December 6th edition of EastCast. Tonight, our big story is another successful drama production at East.
Little shop at East, little shop, come and see the plant beast, little shop, the fall music's go to see, do 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 do.
Last Friday, December 1st, East opened its fall spectacular, Little Shop of Horrors. This double-cast spectacular is only playing 3 more times, Friday night, the 8th, Saturday morning and evening, the 9th. Tickets are $4.50. Get them soon. Here's East reporter Christina Puglisi with commentary on the play and the different movie versions of the show.
For our fall show this year, Cherry Hill East is putting on the musical comedy Little Shop of Horrors. Most people know that there was a movie based on this play, but did you know that the play was based on an old movie? This movie, also titled Little Shop of Horrors, was quite different from the later versions, both in mood and content. In fact, it was not a musical comedy at all, but a low-budget horror movie with a dark sense of humor. The dark mood of this black and white film was set early on, with the opening narration by aptly named cop Joe Fink. The musical versions opened quite literally on a lighter tone, with the 3 doo-wop girls, Crystal, Chiffon, and Ronette, giving us a musical warning that something's gonna get ya. Many changes in the characters, such as the addition of the doo-wop girls to the musicals, took place. Orin Scrivello, sadistic dentist and boyfriend to Audrey, was originally Dr. Forbes. Forbes, unlike Scrivello, was not Audrey's boyfriend and did not take laughing gas or ride a motorcycle. The dental patient, played by Bill Murray in the second film, was dropped from the play, but in the original movie was played by a man who is most recently famous for displaying another prominent grin, that of the Joker. That's right, Jack Nicholson. In the 2 musical versions of Little Shop, Seymour was an orphan, which allowed for the song Mushnick and Son in the play, in which Mr. Mushnick offers to adopt Seymour to get at his wealth. However, Seymour lived with his mother in the original version. Audrey, too, called Audrey Jr. in the first movie, also went through some changes, the most noteworthy of which was the origins of the plant. In the first movie, Audrey Jr., created by Seymour, was a cross of a Venus flytrap and another plant. In the later versions, however, Audrey, too, was an alien from outer space, plotting to take over the Earth. Other differences between the 3 versions are in the plot, particularly towards the end of the story, but I'm not going to give the endings away, so you'll have to rent the video cassettes of the movies to see their endings. And if you want to see the end of the play, you still have a chance to see our production of it on December 8th at 8 o'clock, December 9th at 1 o'clock or 8 o'clock, or the faculty show on December 16th. So come be a customer at the Little Shop of Horrors. This has been Christina Puglisi for EastCast.
And mark your calendars for Saturday, December 16th for another evening you won't want to miss. East's first faculty show, an all-faculty cast in an abridged version of Little Shop of Horrors. The show is a fundraiser for the Little Shop Student Cast touring show. That's Saturday, December 16th at 8 p.m. Next week, we'll bring you a feature on the faculty show. Another success at East is our school newspaper. Julie Litwin spoke with advisor Mr. Anthony Sipp and editors Meeta Sanghavi, Kenny Baer, and Dan Choi about the paper and Eastside's latest honor.
Most students, faculty, and parents are aware Cherry Hill East school newspaper, Eastside, is the best way to get the scoop on what's going on in academics, activities, sports, and more. What most people don't recognize, however, is the hard work by the staff in putting together Eastside. Recently, the school newspaper advisor, Mr. Anthony Sipp, and Eastside received the achievement rating of international first place in the 1989 News Media Evaluation Service. Today, I am lucky enough to be able to interview Mr. Sipp with Eastside co-editors Meeta Sanghavi, Kenny Baer, and Dan Choi about this great honor. Mr. Sipp, what exactly did you have to do in order to become eligible for this honor, and how is it judged?
Okay, first, the school is a member of the International Quill and Scroll Society. That society was started in 1926 by George Gallup, and that's the society that sponsors the contest. Each year in, I think it's April, the Quill and Scroll Society sends a pamphlet out to each member school, and this pamphlet is about 36 pages long, and that is a complete critique of the newspaper. Covers every aspect of the newspaper: writing, editing, layout, the way the pictures look, what kind of business practices we follow. It covers every aspect of the newspaper. We have to fill out about half of that booklet, and then we mail that booklet and copies of our newspaper to Iowa, where University of Iowa, that's where the Quill and Scroll is located. And then they send it out to various renowned high school advisors and also graduate students in their School of Journalism. And those people rate the newspaper. This year we were lucky enough to come in the top 10%. There's a total of 1,000 points, which are comprised of all these various areas, and they compile it into 1,000. We received 906 points, plus a lot of good suggestions on how to improve the paper so that we can score higher and be a better high school newspaper and represent the school, better in the future. Okay?
That's terrific. Mita, to find out a little more about how the paper works, how many people are on the East Side staff, and how are these students given assignments?
Well, there are about 100 people on the staff itself, and at the beginning of each month, we hold a general meeting to which all the writers and columnists come, and they approach each of the section editors and ask for assignments that the editors have.
Okay. Kenny, what tasks do you find most difficult in getting the paper out each month?
Well, Julie, after much thought, I have to say the most difficult task of putting out the paper is probably all these hundreds of people doing their job correctly and well. We have to make sure that the writers write well and write it correctly to the journalistic form, make sure the editors make the right assignments, make sure the editors lay it out right, and that's the hardest part. And then after that, the toughest part is making sure that the publisher doesn't make any mistakes, because we surely don't make any. So, that's probably the toughest part. And then, and the third, toughest part is probably taking critique from people in school who think they know what a good newspaper looks like, but we know it's a good newspaper despite what they say.
Dan, just one last question. As an editor of Eastside, what exactly is your job?
Well, Ken stole most of my answer, but I'll just repeat some of the things. Like Mita said, we're responsible for the assignments. They're the first and most important thing we do. We have to decide on what needs to be reported on every month, and we have to decide who's best suited to do that article. So we give out assignments every month. And like Ken said, we're responsible for layout, and what that basically is how the paper looks. How readable is it? How enjoyable it is to read? And, I mean, we have to attract the reader into reading the paper, and that's probably the secondary goal of our newspaper. And once in a while, we have to deal with personnel. We haven't fired anyone yet, but we're waiting, and we'll see if any changes have to be made. But we hope there won't be.
Okay, thanks. Well, you've heard it. Eastside is now one of the best high school papers in the nation, so don't forget to pick up your copy the next time it's hot off the press. Thank you all for coming today, and once again, congratulations on your great honor.
Thanks, Joel.
This has been Julie Litwin for EastCast.
On Friday, the Asian Youth Society prepared a banquet for East teachers and staff. Delicacies from Korea, China, India, Japan, and Taiwan were cooked by the students to introduce the faculty to these specialties of their native lands. Thanks to the students and faculty advisor, Mr. Steve Schnell, for their time and energy. The Fall Blood Drive, held on November 29th and 30th, collected 185 pints of blood. However, there were almost 700 people who were eligible to give blood and didn't. Hopefully, more people will give for the Spring Blood Drive later this year. Remember, you are saving lives when you give blood. Special thanks to the chairman, workers, and donors. Last Tuesday, the East chess team won another stunning victory over Woodrow Wilson High. The East team defeated them 5-0. The players were sophomore Louis Eisen, John Lee, Lars Anderson, an exchange student from Norway, Jason Rubin, and James Chappell. The chess team has been the conference champions for the past 5 consecutive years. Currently, they are undefeated. Hong Lee, a junior, remarked, "We have a strong team this year. I'd say we have a very good chance at winning state again." What better way to get into the holiday spirit than to give of yourself? That's what FOP is all about. The Fraternal Order of Police sponsor a Christmas party every year for handicapped children. From late October to December, students diligently prepare decorations for a room at the Cherry Hill Hyatt. This year's overall chairpeople are Todd Gordon, Laura Stanford, and Adrian Picacci. The party is scheduled for December 18th. Children will receive a complimentary meal, a free gift from Santa, and lots of holiday fun. FOP is one event not to be missed. We at EastCast are proud to acknowledge my co-anchor, Melissa Choi, for her 2 recent achievements. She took 3rd place in the Camden County section of the VFW Voice of Democracy contest. Also, she won 2nd place in the American History Essay Contest. Congratulations, Melissa.
It was nothing, Sherry.
I know, but I had to say something. It was in the script.
Well, the first issue of Vignettes for this year will be out soon. It is a collection of poems and short stories by East students. Vignettes is a supplement to Demogorgon, the fine arts and literary magazine. It will be circulated in the English department. Those who wish to help with producing either publications should attend the meeting on Thursday at FO 72. Winter track started on Monday, December 4th. It is for those who wish to stay in shape during the winter months or to train for spring sports. Mr. Troutman and Mr. Martin coach winter track. The students either run in the building or outside if the weather permits. Those who wish to participate should contact the coaches.
Congratulations go out to Mrs. Casey Gallagher from our audiovisual department. Mrs. Gallagher cheerfully and tirelessly served the staff and students at East in her capacity as a media technician. We thank her for her help and friendship and wish her a healthy and happy retirement. That's it for this Wednesday's December 6th edition of EastCast. Special thanks go out to student cameramen Tracy Sabakin and Jason Malika, to our cameraman and editor extraordinaire, Mr. Gordon Hampson, and our faculty advisor, Miss Peggy Beck. Stay tuned for Film Forum with Joe Truitt and WPEN Radio's Ken Garland. Tonight they will be screening and discussing Fritz Lang's classic film, M, starring Peter Lorre. This has been Sherry Talanoff along with the award-winning co-anchor Melissa Choi. Tonight we leave you with Ophelia practicing the finale of Little Shop of Horrors. Good night, Ophelia.
Good evening, I'm Sean McFarland, and this week on the West Report, I'll be telling you about our Student of the Week.
And I'm Jordan Katz. This week, I'll preview another West winter sports team.
And I'm Ann Cruz. West just recently created a new organization for concerned students who want to defend their environment, the Nature Defense Club. The force behind the club is advisor Mrs. Ann Lyons and its leader, Jason Zuzga. We asked Jason what inspired him to start the new organization.
Well, basically, looking around the school, I saw there seems to be people seem to be pretty unaware about what's going on with the environment. And I think that this has to be changed because the environment was here long before man ever was, and I think that he has no right to destroy it.
On the committee which created the club are Jenny Yun, Amber Strauss, Jennifer McCammon, Kim Nye, Renee Gerbel, Dan Spurn, Melissa Dooley, and Eric Shellac. The group, which is affiliated with the Sierra Club, plans to defend and protect the environment in any way it can. Some of the Nature Defense Club plans are stopping the use of styrofoam, fundraising in order to buy acres of rainforest in South America, having guest speakers, and participating in Sierra Club activities. With the club's big turnout of 75 people at its first meeting 2 weeks ago, the Defense Club is well on their way in spreading awareness concerning the environment.
On November 20th, several of West's Spanish classes visited Penns Grove High School. There, the Boston Flamingo Ballet Company, a group of native Spanish and Mexican singers and dancers, performed. Mr. Josephs, a Spanish teacher here at West, said the trip's purpose was to expose students in many levels of Spanish classes to Mexican and Spanish folk dancing and singing. He also said that he thought the students enjoyed the program. So, Jordan, which exciting West sports are you going to tell us about today?
Well, this week in sports, we're continuing our previews on the winter sports season by focusing on the girls' varsity basketball team. The practices started the day after Thanksgiving. Mr. McDonald, the head coach, said that he hopes his team will make the state tournament for the 3rd year in a row. The team's record last year was 12 wins and 10 losses. The returning varsity players on the team are seniors Angie Spell, Jessica Marshall, and Christy Lombardo. junior Carrie Dunn, and sophomore Kim Kahudi. Next Friday, December 15th, the team opens the season against Haddon Heights. Mr. McDonald expects Pennsauken and Paul VI to be tough competition. Good luck to all you Lady Lions. Next week, the West Report will continue the previews of winter sports and focus on the boys' basketball team. Congratulations to our own Mr. Paul Genovese, who took first place in the 10,000-meter NJEA Conventional Boardwalk Run. Mr. Genovese covered the 6.12-mile course in 47 minutes to beat all other runners in his age group. And on a final note, congratulations to West varsity soccer players who earned a place on the All-South Jersey soccer team. Dave Cohen and Sung Am on the first team, and Seth Mallon on the second team.
Are you wondering who our student focus will feature this week? Well, here's a clue. He's an honors student, an athlete, and governor of the class of 1991. He's none other than Justin Smith. For those of you who may not know Justin, he participates in various school activities, such as the 3-act plays, the 1-act play, spring track, varsity soccer, and West mock trial. School keeps Justin very active, but he's not too busy to take on activities not associated with school, such as an indoor soccer team. As junior class governor, he tries to focus on certain ideas. We asked him about his major goals for this year for the class of 1991.
In the short term, our dance coming up on the 15th of December, we want to have that make that a really good fundraiser. And like later on in the year, we want to have like our prom really well. We want to really do our prom well. And maybe a few community service things, because I mean, so much like government is involved with fundraising that it's just like you forget about other things.
After high school, Justin hopes to attend a small, prestigious liberal arts college in New England. He hopes to be either an English professor, history professor, or a politician. When asked what he would like to change in our country, he replied, public apathy, especially towards the Native American Indians. Justin claims he lives by Patrick Henry's immortal words, give me liberty or give me death.
Cherry Hill West offers many fun and challenging related arts courses. One of the more popular courses is the Home Economics course, Cooking. The class has just begun a unit on cheese and has so far cooked the forever popular macaroni and cheese. Next semester, the class will move on to the Advanced World of Foods, which lets students explore foods from foreign countries. Since Ms. Flamporis, the cooking teacher, emphasizes such things as nutrition and safety in cooking, she not only has a chance to please the students, but also their stomachs.
West Music Department continues to achieve great things. 12 of West students were recently selected for the 1990 All-South Jersey Chorus. Congratulations to Leslie Meyer, Jody Myers, Jen Renshaw, Matt Kohler, Aaron Goodman, Sarah Duvall, Elaine Chomantowski, Cecilia Byard, David Corbin, Marcy Nikovis, Leslie McNair, and Noel Barbera. The little-known but very powerful West chess team won 2 meets last November 27th. The varsity team, consisting of Song Lee, Duke Doshi, Bob Cooker, Joe Geisner, and Brian McAllister, beat Cinnaminson in every match. The JV squad, consisting of Sean O'Mullen, Wes Tudor, Robert Wagner, David Feldman, and Ace Tatey, blew out the entire Haddon Township JV squad. Song Lee, the captain of the varsity squad, said, I expect a strong showing in the state tournament this year. Would you like to listen to some sweet-sounding music? If so, make sure you come to West's Winter Concert at 7:30 next Wednesday, December 13th. Don't forget to purchase a subscription to a magazine and support the Freshman Magazine Drive. Contact any West freshman for a subscription form. The drive ends December 11th.
Following the junior school news, be sure to stay tuned on Cable 18 for Film Forum. Tonight's segment features the film entitled M, starring Peter Lorre and directed by Fritz Lang. Thanks for watching tonight's broadcast, and be sure to turn in next week for another edition of the West Report. Good night.
Good evening. I'm Jason Connell, and this is Carusi News. This week, we don't have a sports report because Carusi teams are in between seasons. But our winter intramural program started on Monday. The teams are practicing very hard for their first meet or game. When they get underway, we will give you the scores and highlights like we usually do. There is a group that is practicing very hard, and Lori Carty is here to tell you about that. Lori?
Thank you, Jason. We have all been treated to and enjoyed the many concerts performed by our fellow students, but we don't give much thought to how these concerts were organized. But today, I have the privilege to introduce Mrs. Bass, one of the people responsible for part of these concerts. Welcome to Carusi News, Mrs. Bass.
Thank you.
Could you tell us your position here at Carusi?
Yes, I'm the choral music director here at Carusi. I've just started this year. It's my first year with the system. And I'm basically here during enrichment every day.
So you're not here all day long, like the other teachers. You're sort of a special teacher.
Right.
You're only here for enrichment. How's the rest of your day occupied?
Then I go over to West. I teach full-time over there for the rest of the day with the choral music program at West.
So you're a very busy person.
Right. When I'm here, I teach on Mondays. I teach the 8th grade honors chorus. Tuesdays and Thursdays are a rotating lesson or maybe a special rehearsal. Wednesday morning I have 7th and 8th grade mixed chorus, and that chorus also meets Tuesdays after school. And then Friday morning I have the 7th grade honors chorus. So there's basically 3 choirs here that I work with.
This is the holiday season, and I'm sure you have a concert scheduled for us. Can you tell us when that is?
Yes, the winter concert here is on January 10th at Carusi, and it's at 7:30 in the gymnasium. It will be with the instrumental program and the choral program. So all 3 of the choral groups I just mentioned will be singing at that concert. Also this year, for the first time, there is a new performance night called Broadway Night. Basically, that happens out of West, but we've invited the Carusi choruses to join us on that night, and that is February 6th, and it will be at West February 6th, and we're really looking forward to that. It'll be a night of all Broadway music, and the West singers, the chamber singers, the vocal workshop, some faculty from West, and all the Carusi choruses will be hosting that. So that's going to be an exciting night as well.
Well, Mrs. Bass, thank you for coming down here and taking time out of your busy schedule to come talk to us.
Well, thanks for having me, Lori.
And while we're enjoying the next concert, I'm sure we'll appreciate it more knowing that people like Mrs. Bass are behind the scenes putting it together, making it look easy. Back to you, Jason.
Thanks, Lori. Tomorrow, December 7th, commemorates the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor by the Japanese, which brought the Americans into the Second World War. About 360 Japanese planes attacked the American Pacific Fleet at the naval base in Hawaii. When the assault ended nearly 2 hours later, the fleet had lost 8 battleships, 3 light cruisers, 3 destroyers, and 4 other vessels. Among the losses were the battleships Arizona, California, Oklahoma, and West Virginia. They destroyed 170 U.S. planes and killed or wounded approximately 3,700 people, including civilians. The following day, President Roosevelt asked Congress for a declaration of war against Japan. He called December 7th a date which will live in infamy. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, it became the rallying cry for the United States. Tomorrow, Pearl Harbor Day, is a day that Americans can remember and be thankful for the men and women that died to keep the United States free. That concludes this edition of Carusi News. I'm Jason Connell saying good night.